Hi everyone, Tess again, and I wanted to give you some tips on printing tissue paper. Now sometimes we overlook tissue paper, we're all about the kind of Christmas cards and brown wrapping paper, but actually tissue paper is absolutely gorgeous to print. It prints really well, it's beautiful if you want to wrap gifts with it or maybe package a gift box, so it's really something that you shouldn't miss on the lead up to the festive period. We sell a range of different coloured tissue papers. We've got burgundy, red, purple, white, black. I've got a couple here that I've already printed to show you. So this is the burgundy, which I printed with a nice silver snowflake. We've got the red with a star. The white I printed with a nice vibrant green and red holly. And on the video today I'm going to show you how I print the black one. So tissue paper is exactly the same as printing wrapping paper or cards. You have to be a little bit more delicate with it because obviously the tissue paper is quite fragile, so you want to be quite careful with it, but it's absolutely wonderful to print. It dries very quickly. We print it again with acrylic paint, just like our cards, tags and wrapping paper. And we just use all the same techniques, but I'm just gonna show you quickly me printing the black. And with the silver paint I'm gonna be using, it's so stunning. It comes up so bright and I just think you guys are gonna love this. So I'm using our silver acrylic paint. If you've missed it, we're selling the acrylic paints in really nice 250ml bottles, which are perfect for your Christmas printing. And I've just got my sponge dabber. And then the block I'm gonna be using is our botanical berries block. Now this is actually part of our botanical range, but I use it as Christmas as it is gorgeous for Christmas printing. So you'll see how nice it looks on my tissue paper. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see, and I'll show you how to print the tissue paper. So like I said, as normal, I've got my foam printing mat underneath me, my paint tray and sponge dabber, so all the normal equipment. Now we sell tissue paper in packs of 10 sheets. You might be able to buy it in different kind of size quantity packs from your local shops. But the trick that I always say with tissue paper is you never want to print on just one sheet. Because it is quite thin, it's quite delicate, one sheet is too thin to print on and to wrap with. So what I do is I normally have 2 or 3 sheets underneath me. So I've got 3 sheets of black paper, and you will be able to see when you get your tissue paper, there's a shiny side and a rough side. So obviously we always print on the rough side so that the paint and the blocks don't slip as much. So I tend to fold mine over. I'm going to fold mine in half for the moment. And I'm going to print on this sheet and I'm going to have it to line a gift box with. This is one of the presents I wrap. This is printing with stars just on the black tissue paper and that looks stunning. But I'm going to be showing you the silver with the botanicals berry block. So you want to have a test, so make sure you use one test piece just to practice on. There might be a slight slip on here, so make sure you get the right amount of paint. It's kind of a bit of practice and trial and error with printing onto paper, but I always say have a slightly drier sponge. So dip your sponge in the paint and then really just give it a good tap off. So you're really squeezing as much of that paint into the sponge or off, so it's not sitting on the surface. And then I'm going to hold my block flat and just lightly tap all over. And I can see that I have less paint on my sponge as it takes me longer to build the paint up on the block. But that just means we're not going to have any blobs on there to slip with. So I'm going to turn this upside down, give it a wiggle and up. And there we have it, a really gorgeous silver print on the black tissue paper. Now another trick is when you're doing this is make sure when you lift your block off the tissue paper, you hold the tissue paper down just so it doesn't rip. So I'm going to slightly turn this design, give it a wiggle, holding it securely so that it's not going to slip, holding the tissue paper down and bringing it up. And there we go. So I'm going to print this sheet and I'll show you the finished item. And there we have my finished piece of black tissue paper printed in a really lovely shimmering silver acrylic paint. So I'm going to leave this to dry and then I will show you how I'm going to use it. So once you've printed your tissue paper and it's dry, you're ready to either use it to line a gift bag, maybe a box, or wrap a present with it. I'm going to use this one to wrap a present. So the way that I do it is I've got a lovely chicken printed tea towel here that I'm going to give to someone. And I would just wrap it in this, and obviously we've used a couple of sheets so it's very secure and sturdy and it's not going to tear or anything. So I'd wrap it like that, and then I would seal it with a little bit of tape, or maybe even just like a sticky tag, and then you have your beautifully wrapped present in your tissue paper. Another one I did earlier is I love to buy presents, especially if they're in boxes, or I like to try and wrap in little gift boxes. So with this one, I printed a sheet of white tissue paper with gold stars, and I've got my little gift box here. So I'm just going to pop it on the inside of the box, and then I can just use this to put over the top and then put the lid on, and that will be a really nice way to wrap a present to give this Christmas. So there's lots of different ways you can use it. You may prefer using tissue paper over brown paper, so if you do, I hope this tutorial has been helpful. And like I said, you can buy the tissue paper from our website, or I'm sure you can buy it from any of your local kind of craft or hobby shops. So I hope that's been helpful. Thanks very much for watching. Bye!